Hi, my name is Barbara Anderson, and I created this course, and I am so happy that you have chosen to participate in it. You know, I had 8 years of extreme lower back pain. I'm giving you the same formula, the same um, surprising gentle, light, slow, smooth, small movements that got me out of that pain. That was like 40 years ago, and it hasn't come back. I'll explain a little more about that. But first, let's take a look and get to know inside our body what's happening. It's so valuable. Anatomy and understanding and seeing for yourself what these landmarks are will definitely make a difference. Let's take a look. So in our course, we'll be working with the femur. This is your large leg bone. This is your long leg bone. And you see where the rounded part is. That fits into the pelvis. People think the movement of the leg happens out here. Notice how it's kind of shaped like a hammer, right? But this is not where the movement is really happening. It's this rounded place that fits so nicely into the pelvis. Just like that. That's where the movement happens. Right there. It's important to know. So this is a landmark in the movement of the leg. And understanding this lets you know that it's a deeper movement than you expect. And many of the lessons that we will do will take you right there. So you need to be able to know where you're working from. You're not working from out here. You're working from much deeper in, much further in. And here we go. Here's the pelvis, one side of the pelvis. We'll look at this guy in just a minute. One side of the pelvis, we saw this rounded shape where the femur fits in. That's called the acetabulum. But there are a few other landmarks you really need to know. One is this rocker bone, right there. Can you see it? Right there. Literally, the pelvis rocks when you're sitting on that bone. And then I think you need to know about the top rim of the pelvis. Now you can literally put your fingers on there and trace. You can feel this for yourself. You can trace that top rim of the pelvis. In one lesson, we'll use the hand to move it, to create movement in the pelvis, the leg, and the lower back. So here it is. It's really cool, I think. I think bones are amazing. And when you get down to the level of the bone, you're working in a really deep, conscious way. And it's so much clearer than trying to think about individual muscles. You really cannot figure that out. But you can feel the bones, and you can feel on the level of the bones, you can feel the movement. So movement happens at joints. Joints are where bones come together. That's a joint. Right there. That's a joint. Movement happens at joints. I always make the joke, and most people don't laugh because it's really not clear what I'm talking about. But basically, I say if movement is happening anywhere else but the joint, you need to go to the hospital because you have a broken bone. Movement happens in joints. This is good to know. That's why we need these landmarks. This is another landmark you can feel. you can rock on that bone. So let's take a look at and then of course, we will be working with the sacrum and how it attaches to the pelvis and how then all of that, then we have the spine going up to the base of the skull. So there's a joint here, not a really movement oriented joint. This is like a puzzle. You got to work with it and put it together for yourself, and then it means a lot. So that's going to fit in, but we don't really need to know a lot about this other than it connects to the whole spine, which then connects to the head. So when you create movement in the pelvis, you are creating movement up the spine. Let's take one more short look. Top rim of the pelvis. Use your fingers, find it, feel it, feel it. Sitting bone, rocker bone. You rock on this bone. Hip joint, where the femur comes into the pelvis, all rounded out. It's a nice fit. I like to look at bones. I hope that was beneficial to you. Let's look at this guy. Same action here. Upper rim of the pelvis, right there. Where the femur, you see the ball and socket, the ball and socket fit together, the leg moves. It has a lot of movement, this joint. It has a lot. I can't take you through all of it. It has inward rotation. You will go through this in the class. It has inward rotation, outward rotation, a lot of movement there. It's the second most mobile joint in your body. It will benefit you to know that and to feel that and to learn about the body on the level of the anatomy. So there you go. I hope you rewatch this at the end of the course and go, oh yeah, that makes more sense now. Movement happens in joints. Of course, then we'll go on from that to talk about the muscles attached. They move, but who tells the muscles to move? Who's in charge of that? Because that's the real boss of movement. I'll tell you who it is. It's the brain and the nervous system. That's why we slow down and we feel the body to make connections, new pathways, new connections from the brain all the way down into the hip socket, all the way throughout the body. So I was going to tell you about what got me in so much trouble. 8 years of lower back pain. It had to do with tension and postural tension right about here in my lower back. There was so much tightness and immobility in those muscles that it just locked everything up, caused a restriction in nerve flow down the leg, which is sciatic pain. And I had to learn how to move that area of my body again. And that is what got me out of pain. And that is what I'm sharing with you. You just need to do the work. And I think you'll get some fantastic results. So again, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy the course.